This time's for real. Are you guys ready? Okay then, begin!
The ultimate battle between God and man! A battle It's time to duel! Let's begin!
May the best man win. I intend to.
Venomous! Through battle!
それでは第9回戦
この発旋部
We're here. We're loaded up on a Wednesday. By getting audio, videos together. But you know, it's roundtable talk. Maybe Spider can't hear. AK Mr. AKA the head of the table. We're here. Blur Cartel. Aisha, you're still a bot. Get her off the Skynet server. But you know, Blur Cartel follows Facebook, IG, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, Twitch. We here. Episode 52. Heroes and Villains. How's everybody doing?
I'm chilling.
Oh yeah, man.
Getting over stomach virus.
Oh crap!
Stomach virus.
Yeah, I just got over one. I was fucked up over the weekend. I was fucked up.
Well, I'm happy you're doing better, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, I thought yesterday was Wednesday. I hit up Cam talking about, let me send me the link. He said, dude, that's tomorrow. I'm like, oh crap.
I thought yesterday was Wednesday too. I was like, oh, I can't wait for the podcast.
Everybody wanted it to be Wednesday.
I'm definitely salty right now. I'm all like, I got the next day off, and then I look at the calendar like, dang, I work again. Shit.
Yeah.
I've been working overtime all this week too, and last week, man. They better come through with my check, man. Shoot, I hope they do.
Gotta love this dedication. We got the return of Taizuku. We got the return of Dakin. We here with some day ones.
Yes, sir, brother. I had to come see what is up with all my brothers. You know, I'm out here. You know, I'm just trying to live my best life. I'm trying to be a happy man. You know, and in doing so, I'm hitting these hours too, man. My check finna look right. You know.
Ah, nice.
You know, it's been a while. Been a while since I've been on, but when I saw the topic, I had to say yes. Had to hop on this one.
Had to. Good topic.
Got Halia Sensei here.
Yes, sir. You already know Halia Sensei the Blur Cartel. I mean, CEO status. New Year, same Sensei. You know what I mean? You already know. Follow the Blur Cartel on all social media platforms. You know what I mean?
We're here to talk about Heroes and Villains, and I just wanted y'all take on the classic Dark Knight quote. You either die a hero or live it long enough to see yourself become the villain. Now, take it from a comic standpoint, anime standpoint. You take it from a movie standpoint. How logical, how correct is that quote?
Oh.
It is a high. I'm gonna say it's a high 90% right. I'm like, that's a real life scenario. You be around long enough. It happens to everybody every day. The people that used to be the good when we was kids are all innocent until life really fucked them up. They really become the most evil people, like the most caring people. Once life really get a hand on them or something, they become the most corrupt, fucked up individuals you know.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it only makes sense with regime change, you know. Like, I mean, let's say like it's political, right? But let's say you become the new king or whatever. Eventually, someone's not gonna fuck with you, and to them, you're gonna be the villain. I mean, that's just
That
how
too.
it is.
Perspective.
I think it's kind of like what my boy Taizuka said just then about how it's political, because it's funny because it's the one thing that we think of like a defining trait about a hero is somebody who not gonna fall under the circumstances. They gonna stand on their beliefs. But the number one thing that makes other people vouch for somebody as a hero is public opinion, and that can swing any day, any kind of way. So it really is like it's a thing where like you might be the hero one day in one story, and the next story you the villain.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I did want to ask this with the if you took My Hero for example, how All Might was the number one hero till he lost his powers, passed it, stuff like that, and then you have in the current Dark or Vigilante Deku arc that's going to happen, you see the ending saying I'm not here with the All Might statue there. Somebody put the little sign on his chest right there. So, well, did he turn into did the public perception turn him into the villain at that point because he just wasn't here, because he couldn't be here, because we know the reason why he couldn't be here, but the public perception is like, why isn't he here saving us? Where is he at? So did that turn him into the villain at that point?
I think that's a good question. Though I think that the messaging that they were leaving is a little layered, because the first thing is that like it's a translation from Japanese. So I'm not sure exactly how that's meant to be interpreted in actually Japanese, But the next thing is that to me it kind of strikes like is anybody a hero, because it's like all the villains are just people with quirks, all the heroes are just people with quirks, and they don't know that All Might has been hurt with this ailment that he can't do whatever. They don't know that. So to them, it's like he's just choosing to not show up anymore. And I mean, to them, that's basically the biggest betrayal ever. It's not even like he was shown dying in battle. It's like he just didn't even give a shit.
Yeah, he left on a high note, arms raised up, pointing to Deku, and that's the last public saw him as that.
Yeah.
Any other opinions?
I wouldn't say they would think of him as a. What was you saying, Hollywood?
No, I was saying, what was the question again?
The question was, through the public perception of you getting turned into a villain, like All Might quote is, "I'm here," and exactly, I showed them at the school, fought the Nomu, say, "I'm here," and even in the first episode, and then the sign on his chest during the latest anime arc is saying, "I'm not here," because we know for reasons he's injured, but the public perception don't know why he's not here. So that could be like Taizuku said, the betrayal to the people that can turn him into a villain via public perception, as Dakin was saying. So that was.
So it's like, is he a villain now? Is it fair to see him as a villain now? I think is the question, right?
Yeah, is it fair to see him as a villain because he turned his back on the people by not being here like he has been?
I mean, public perception. Yeah, he obviously they view him as a villain because they wrote "I'm not here" on the statue, but we all on this panel know why he isn't here, because he can't do shit. I mean, which you want a regular,
right?
I mean, if he show up as the regular person as he is, then he dies in battle, and then everybody like, oh damn, We shouldn't have came at All Might like that. Like,
Okay,
it's
but you know how inspirational that would be though if he was like, I'm actually weak, but I'm here gassed up, and then he dies in battle. Everyone would be like, yo, All Might's a fucking hero. I'm running out there too.
No, because see
that could
that's the
happen.
thing. Nah, man. See what I think what's really cool is like whenever you go about the I'm not here, and like you said, like it's talking about multiple heroes like not stepping up anymore. That's when heroes was a job, you know. It was like it was easy to be a hero when it was about showing out. It's different when you be a hero when it's about showing up. So
Yeah.
even if All Might show up,
Mm.
they're gonna look at him and be like, "Oh, well, why didn't you say anything?" You know, like they're always gonna like the public will always
Never be
sway
satisfied.
because they fragile. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of when they. That's why they rely on heroes. You know, it's okay if I fold because the hero won't. You know, so when you see All Might and he show up. And he's like skinny Mike, y'all. The public gonna be
Skinny
like,
Mike is crazy.
yeah.
Skinny
You,
Mike.
you can't help us. Like you can't help us. Like
Yeah,
you're
that
not a
he might
hero
actually lose
anymore.
morale like that. He might lose morale
Yes,
like that. Like,
yes.
damn, who
Also,
this sick ass boy out here?
Yeah, if All Might can't save us, then we dead. Like, oh no. Like
Yeah. Small Might trash.
Come on, Mike. G
Uh,
Star, what's
small
your
Mike.
opinion on it?
I would definitely have to say, like, when it comes to in the My Hero Academia universe and even universes similar, it's like they try to stick to the black and white perception. Like, if you're if you, you know if you're not for us, then you're against us, and it's sad because this is where the irony comes in. Like you all see, we know why
I'm
he can't
doing
be a
something.
hero, but they're taking it so personal. Like, he's just choosing to turn his back on him. It's not like, what I'm saying? Like, if I can't help you, that's what it is. But that's the whole reason why he passed down One for All to Deku, to put him in that position to be a predecessor and to pick up where he left off. But once again, people don't know that. But it's like you all said, humans in there can be so fragile, and with them being so fragile, they are so very quick to give up hope and stuff like that. It's crazy. It really is.
To
As
the
a
quote,
hero, oh my bad.
no, go ahead.
No, as a hero, All Might is in a position where, and I never thought I would have to quote Drake on Roundtable, but I quote Drake. I mean,
The light skinned guy.
he is in his profession is he's in a position where he can't control how long the people love him. You know what I mean? It's not in his control no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's in the people's control. You know what I mean? And once you're not doing what you've been doing, the savior is like, we don't fuck with you no more, bro, because you're not here. You know what I mean? So that's the situation.
Now,
Sad but true. Sad
to
but
the
true.
quote, if you die a hero, so you look at Endeavor, if he died against that high tier Nomu in that village and self-sacrifice, he'll live infinity as being a hero. You
Yep.
live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And then you saw Dobby's dance when he did the fucking the video fucking biography, the 30 for 30 of the Todoroki clan. And now he got perceived as the villain. So that I can see Peter Parker, obviously J. Jonah Jameson just the first TMZ just put him on front page news. He's a menace, he ain't shit. And just like, well, Spider-Man died saving somebody on his first day on the job. He's like, oh, this guy's great. But he wears a mask, he ain't shit.
that
He's
man invented cancel culture, bro.
He's still a vigilante. That's all he is, Spider-Man. That's all he gonna say is a vigilante. No matter what he do, that's what it is.
He's ruining our streets. He's poisoning our water.
I never met somebody so solid. I read the first comic book, and he said, I think in there he was fighting Chameleon. That was the first criminal he ever fought, and I think he saved Jameson's son. Now I'm thinking, okay, he's going to be grateful. Must have turned around and turned that page. Oh, Spider-Man almost killed my son. He's a menace. I'm like,
the first hating ass nigga must
Piece of
have
shit.
the first, and I'm like, dang man, he started heading from the jump, like straight out the gate. But it's like with certain people though, no matter what you do, you'll always be a villain just
The
because,
bad guy.
just for whatever, for whatever. Shoot.
Now, I did have one question for you guys. Is the villain more in tune with their identity, knowing who they are, versus the villain? I mean, versus the hero that has to live two lives. And shout out to Metro Boomin for the Morgan Freeman quote. Heroes are inspired, emerging only when needed, revealing themselves to the world in a moment marked by the realization of their ultimate destiny. With backs against the wall, they ascend the winding path of their own fate, barely knowing the edge, despite coping with the lie, living their whole life as two halves. Now, are the villain more in tune with themselves? Like, I know I'm shit. I ain't shit. I'm gonna show y'all I ain't shit. But if you're a guy in a mask, if you're Spider-Man and you gotta live these two lives, and one life is gonna get broken because you have to contend with the responsibility of being the superhero and clean up the streets and clean up other people's lives.
It's
you
true.
have time to clean up your whole life.
That's a no-brainer. The villain. The villain's always
How many
more in
villains have
tune.
you heard? How many villains have you heard say this? I know who I am. I mean, this is me. I mean, they all know. I mean,
People
heroes,
that
we know.
it's can I say something? In psychology, when people say stuff like that, they really don't know who they are. A person that know who they are don't say stuff like that. You know who you are by your actions. You know who you are. You don't gotta keep saying like somebody like being in a relationship and somebody always saying, "Oh, I do it like this all the time, honey." This and the third. No, I'm just saying actions speak louder than quotes or words to yourself. Real people, they're gonna show you who they are. They ain't gonna be like, "Oh, I know who I am." No, bitch, I'm gonna shoot you. Go and eat my tea and crumpets and go about my day like shit never happened. That's what's gonna happen.
Not the team.
Yeah, I think it depends on what kind of villain you're talking about. Like, if you're talking about like One Punch Man villain, they're very sure of themselves. This guy, when he says I'm the pollution lord and I'm here from another planet and I'm gonna destroy Earth, he means that. Like he's he does not doubt his identity at all. But like, I don't know if you're talking about like teenage Sasuke, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, I am evil and like shit like that. Like he's probably tripping.
Yeah. No. I'm one of the so just the same way we split hairs when it's like hero the job and like villain like the ideal. I say like there's some villains like they know who they are like, and I think the best ones are the ones like Dr. Doom. You're not gonna tell Doom who he is. There's no soul searching to be found there. Like he know who he is, and that's why he can stand firm on that. But you got people like if you was in like DC, like half of like Flash rogues, like Golden Glider is only there because her brother there. Like folks like, oh yeah, I mean I don't want to really be a villain, but my wife needs me and my freeze technology. Like you're not really some people are villains because like they just don't want to think about but then there's some people like that they're like I will be the bad guy. That's not gonna face me. Apocalypse, Magneto, they like we the bad guys. You're right. We as bad as you think we are. And that's why people say, you know what? I respect it. Like even if I don't agree with them, I can never call them the character like their character can never be in question because of it.
Exactly.
I always had an issue with like first issue, Fantastic Four. Oh, this is who we are. I'm Reed Richards, and this is my whole family, and we're gonna just be heroes and stuff like that. And Spider-Man's like, no, I'm 15 years old, and I gotta protect my identity, so you don't touch my Aunt May. I was like, what the fuck is the difference?
I'm gonna tell you, and I like the fact that you talked about how heroes live a double life because it brings me back to the concluding fight between Bill and Beatrix on the Kill Bill movie. He said what's crazy about it is that Superman was born Superman. He had to put on the glasses and the suit to become human and blend in with the hive. And what I liked about it, he says the difference between him and Spider-Man, But I think what he was really trying to say is that when it comes to certain people, with them being so true and knowing who they are, they don't have to live a double life. They don't. Like, take the Joker for example. With the Joker, he's fully aware of what he is. He knows he's unstable. He knows he has murderous intent. But the thing about it, he does not front about it. Like, so I can say that's a prime example. So
Well, with the double life thing, I hate how. Well, I don't hate. I don't get how people like Superman and his whole persona. I'll be Clark Kent. I get mild mannered and stuff like that, and I'm gonna raise myself as human. But I'll be Kryptonian when I need to be, and you know I'll learn my roots when I learn my roots. And then Gohan just like had the common knowledge and be like, well, I want to be raised as human. I don't really want to be raised as a Saiyan. I want to get in touch with my human side. Oh, Gohan ain't shit, and Gohan fell off.
You don't think that
Great
you
Saiyan
don't,
man, not shit, and
well. First of all, I think it's important to say something that if it's the more powerful the more powerful the superhero is, the less likely they are to wear a mask. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like if you're Carol Danvers, it doesn't. You don't need to run around with a secret identity. You punch like a star. Ain't nobody coming up and checking your grandma.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna
if
fucking
you,
photon
yeah,
blast you.
yeah. But if you human, it's a little bit different. Like somebody got to protect
Right.
May. So I think that it's not necessarily that like running around with a mask is a bad thing. I think it's like a level of integrity behind it because for some folks, like I'm willing to like I don't think every Spider-Man story needs to be Spider-Man, you can't wear a mask and have a secret identity. Like, I think it's actually a little bit fucked up that we keep saying that because not everybody is, not everybody invincible, not everybody S tiered. Like, some folks are like, I'm trying to do what little I can to protect everybody and still do it, even at the risk of all the shit that's gonna happen to me that I can't stop. Like, that's a testament to the character that made them become a hero to begin with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, once you get enough
Yeah.
power, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, once you're powerful enough, it doesn't matter what your morals are because can't nobody really stop you.
I
That
mean,
happens real fast.
it's Batman just white cosplay using his privilege to invoke the trauma he could never get rid of at Crime Alley.
I mean, Daredevil's worse. At least Batman, like he like be nice about it when it comes to like, oh, I'll beat you up, but I pet the kid and I'll fund the orphanage I'm gonna send you to afterward. Like
Shit,
Daredevil can't even
at
afford
least
to do
Daredevil
nothing
ain't
for.
recruit from the orphanage. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think
Batman
the
gonna see
thing
right to Arkham.
uh, I think the thing with Gohan, I think that's like related to like what we were talking with right before this show started. Like, you start mixing lineages from like you start like taking that like Superman kind of story, that like American vibe, and you start putting it into that Japanese vibe, and it's off-putting when people expect that Japanese vibe and the Japanese energy and they get that American flavor in it, and it rubs them the wrong way, because they're expecting Gohan to be a Saiyan and just be like a fucking beast out here and mollywhopping niggas because he can, like, and instead he's like, oh, evildoer, and he's fucking, like
the first character to walk around with a white do rag and dabbing. So let's give Gohan credit. Pioneer with some buffers, with some buffs on.
Like I wouldn't feel comfortable having like a hero that feels like way too like confident about what they doing. I'm not a fan of that. Like I don't like that because that's really where you get them heroes who fall off the path. Like how many times is a story about Reed Richards being so smart that he do something stupid? Like you always get the story of like, yeah, I thought we could control, the Illuminati. They thought we could control everything. We gonna make it better for the majority, and then they cause a problem all over again. You got to be real careful about like people who, if you're a hero, like with any person who just that self-assured that I just know what I'm gonna do and I got the power to do it, like that's how you end up with people who become villains later.
Now, I'll ask this before we move on to the next topic. Do people take their heroism, like, well, how do I word this? Do people like Johnny Storm take their heroism and a celebrity for granted?
Iron Man.
Absolutely.
Iron Man, for sure.
Well, yeah, I can take Iron Man for example. Also, like, I hate to keep using Spider-Man. Spider-Man protecting his identity. We saw Civil War. Yo, come out to the public, reveal your identity. Everything will be fine. and niggas is when he saw him, like, oh, that's Spider-Man. I'm gonna fuck him up. He just saw Doc was bench pressing with his tentacle, just like, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm gonna fucking get more up when I get home.
That's the guy that's been beating me for 20 years. I'm fucking him up now.
But you see what I'm saying? Tony Stark can afford to be like, hey, I'm Iron Man. Of course, like, I got a nuclear missile trained on you the minute you make eye contact with me. I can say that kind of thing. Meanwhile, you today, regular day, you on your way home, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just speed through. All of a sudden, may get sprayed up because what? Cause you ain't got Iron Man protection. Like people act like secret, like look, people act like secret identities are crazy, but like it makes sense. Like some people, that's all they got to protect their little corner of the world. So it takes something different from when them people to stand up and be like, I'm gonna put myself and my family at risk, knowing that I really can't protect them if a nuclear bomb decides that he got a beef with me. Like,
and that's why it's fuck Amber from Invincible all day.
I knew.
Yeah, fuck Amber. It's definitely, you know what I mean? You know, I know that.
Ungrateful ass.
Also,
not bashing Amber.
Like my boy out here trying to save the world.
He
trying to save the world. You worried about
getting mollywopped by his daddy and Cthulhu. I just gotta say,
saving the world, you still late. No yams tonight, boy.
Yeah,
and the yams.
Yeah, you sleeping with the Jergens tonight, dog.
The Jergens is crazy.
Like
even something like this is like one of them things when I'm talking about you so smart, you stupid. Like if you know, like you're friends with Doctor Strange, and you like, nah, I don't really believe that magic is something I can do like that. Like, are you just so caught up in your own world? Like that's how Reed end up doing stupid stuff. Like that's how he end up in them little traps where he like, oh man, I should have found a way to blow up other universes.
I hate that when smart characters get into shit like that, it always sounds stupid when they say it back to you. Like it's always something that's like, why were you doing this?
Case in point, the Illuminati. Yo, Hulk's running around just doing fuck shit. How about we send him to another planet?
Yeah, like why?
Against his will? Or are we gonna ask him? No, we're definitely doing it against his will.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, that sounds like, about right. Namor was like,
you can find you feel about Namor, but he was like, come on, y'all know what's gonna happen. Like, feel how you feel about Namor, but that's somebody who stand on how he feel. Like, I'm gonna just be honest with you, I'm not with this. And everybody was like, Namor, you a bad guy, you not really. But he was right. He did him dirty.
Shout out to Black Panther at the first meeting. Y'all niggas dumb. I'm okay.
Right. Yeah, he said, I know this shit.
He got the first meeting in Wakanda. He just like, nah, y'all niggas dumb. I'm okay. Y'all got it.
Yeah, typical black man. He said, I see what y'all getting into. I'm all right.
Y'all doing that white stuff.
You guys
the white stuff.
Real quick, another of the Morgan Freemans. Those don't perceive themselves as wrong, and here all heroes don't wear capes. Villains are made, not born. Most times the villain and the hero's beginnings, unlike their endings, take nearly identical shape and form.
I agree.
Okay, like that's like
shout out to Morgan Freeman spitting in bars.
That's something that people like say, bro, and like that shit sounds like it makes sense, but no, bro. Heroes and villain stories do not fucking start the same, bro. Like,
enlighten us.
there's some hero and villain stories that start a little bit similar, but like some villains. But yeah, but a lot of anime villain stories be like, and then I murdered my clan. And it's like, wait, why? It's like, oh, we grew up together. We were brothers, and then I killed everyone. And it's like, that is not like the hero story. The hero story is like everyone got killed. Like, that's not very similar. Like Superman's story is like hella different than Zod's story. Batman's story and the Joker story have nothing in common. Like,
but
look at Deku and Shigaraki's story.
Yeah.
Even though people were up and down, the Joker's the one who killed Batman's family. Even though people swear it.
Well, again, I think it's the difference is like the people like the people who become real heroes are always going to question whether or not what they're doing is right. Like they never feel like 100% like, yeah, I feel really, really good about using my abilities this way. Like even like it doesn't matter. Like Superman, Batman, you take like the highest, like all of them have like all the big ones have a moment where they're like, is this even what I should be doing? Like you never have like a villain who just sit there and be like, man, I should probably not shoot Barbara.
Oh, like
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's like, oh, Morgan Freeman's like all heroes and villains are similar in their beginnings and ends, while the Joker's peeling off a bitch face. Like,
or poisoning like
Batman's like in his study reading, and the Joker's like eating a baby. It's like, it's like, no, it's not. It's not that similar.
Well, we could go through the Deku and Shigaraki. They're pretty similar but different upbringings for what they had. One was just a single mom, just like helping her son not having a quirk, and then Shigaraki got shamed for having a famous grandmother as a superhero. So were they identical? No, but one shaped the other when he got his quirk and just like disintegrated everybody, and then got manipulated by a higher source. Did Deku get manipulated by All Might? No, he just was hero fandom and that. So that's not really comparable.
No, he kind of got kidnapped and groomed a little bit, but
a little tiny bit. They both got groomed. I'll give you that.
A tiny bit of kidnapping.
A healthy amount.
A healthy amount of kidnapping. But the other thing I did want to, well, no, not that. What was it? So villains are made and heroes are born for the most part. Now you can only take that for like maybe Superman for that. He was born to be Superman, I suppose. But the heroes are made part. Are heroes born in most cases? And just like, this is your destiny. You have to do this. And just like.
No, I don't think that's just a choice. I want to use something corny. I want to use something corny. Permitted. Now this is a Sailor Moon reference. Now think about it. Before the Sailor Scouts became Sailor Scouts, they had the option to pick up that wand, and when they picked up the wand, they accepted the abilities and the responsibility of the Sailor Scout, whether it be Venus or Mars or Neptune, whatever it is. So I feel like it's universal. Like, you have the ability, but then you also have the responsibility to know within yourself how you want to use the powers, the abilities, and things like that.
So you're saying they're born that way? They know that they're gonna be born to know what to do.
I wouldn't say born knowing what to do, but I would say they were born with the choice to be able to determine what they want to do.
Okay.
Right, so with the epitome of being born a hero, Superman, Wonder Woman, things like that. And you can argue Green Lantern because he was chosen to be Green Lantern. So I don't think he was born, but being chosen to will the power of that, you can kind of put into that ideology of that.
We
But
all
I do
know there's
want
still heroes that step into the role of being a hero. It's not like they were just, some people are just thrusted into that role of being a hero. They weren't just born that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you think
Some
Spider-Man
heroes
is
that
thrust
Hal
into the
Jordan.
role. But if you look at the Spider-Verse in a whole, if he's in that web, that's a web of like destiny or things like that. So he could be like born to be like, this is going to be the Spider-Man of this era. So just like once you expound that universe of the Spider-Verse, he could have been born to be Spider-Man for that. But more times than not, I don't think the hero is born to just be that.
Exactly.
And then if you take Goku, Goku wasn't born to be who he was.
Protector of the universe. The protector of the universe. Yeah.
The bump on the head determined everything.
Yeah, like I mean, I think most heroes are forged in fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like most heroes, you go through trials and tribulations to get to where you are, and then you end up taking on the mantle of a hero. And I think even most heroes never even wanted to be a hero.
And I want to speak on that too. I don't want to interrupt, but I'm glad because it goes back to when you all brought up the Green Lantern as an example. Like with Hal Jordan's situation. Now, true enough, it could easily be said that maybe it was his fate, but check this out. If the original owner of that ring never perished or never told the ring to go and find somebody else, Hal Jordan would have still been Hal Jordan. So I can say, like, it really depends how you look at it. I wouldn't say it was fate as much as it is, him dying and the ring finding him because the owner told him to.
And yeah, because it's vicinity too. If it was around, if it was closer to someone else that was worthy, it would have picked them.
Yep.
Right, different planet, different circumstances, different date, time, seconds, minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's just him. There are some characters like Harry Potter's specific situation is like, yeah, specifically he was in a situation to
He's
defeat
made
Voldemort.
to be the hero.
Yeah, like
all the training and everything.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
Any knights at the round table.
I'm kind of stuck thinking about this little quote and speech that Aaron gave Falco in Liberia, where he's like, some people are pushed into this, and some people push themselves. And what happens often is that you find that most villains are pushed, but most heroes push themselves, Like it's real easy to be like we talk about, like it's real easy to find yourself in that situation of being a villain where it's just like, well, the world ain't left me no other choices. They don't push my back up against the wall and this is all I got. But to go out there and be a hero needlessly when you don't have to over and over again, that's like you said, forged in fire. Like that's something that has to be like made. Like that's not just something that just happens.
I agree.
I did have a question. How do you feel about people that blur the lines of heroism, just like the anti-hero, the Deadpools, the Venom, the
Rick
Punisher,
Sanchez,
the Daredevils?
They just people that don't give a fuck. That's all they are. They just really people.
I'll ask this: is Wonder Woman an anti-hero?
No,
I don't know.
No,
I don't think. Situation. What's up, bud?
I don't think killing villains sometimes makes you an anti-hero.
A penguin.
I think when it comes to the idea of anti-heroes and anti-villains, I saw somebody that said in the chat like that definition didn't happen until like the mid 2000s, but like even just that build up idea of like there are types of heroes that are neither good or bad. I think that those are the heroes that we tend to identify with the most because we're not going to be firm enough to be like the big heroes. So like I'll be the hero that compromises a bunch. Like, you know what? I'll be honest, I'm Frank Castle. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna save everybody. I'm just gonna shoot a bunch of bad guys. And it's like, just because the end result is good doesn't necessarily always make you a hero. Because that's how public opinion heroes get started.
Yeah, if I'm a villain, it's an interrogation tactic. I don't want to be interrogated by Wonder Woman. She's going to kill me. No.
Yeah, unless she's
Tell you whatever.
unless she's working with the Justice League, which like she has a pretty good chance of working with someone like the Justice League. So it's like, and she's
pretty cool.
She's willing.
She won't kill you if you real.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's like she's got like an interesting like moral compass. She's like a cop. And like I think that the Justice League version of cops is like more like what real life cops should be like. So it's like, you know, they'll rough you up, but they're definitely not going to smear you unless you're a creature, you know? Like even if you're a creature that can talk, you're not gonna get killed. So like that, I mean, you know, that's pretty cool. At least you know you're not gonna get murdered.
So we know the famous anti-hero, probably maybe the first could be Spawn, if that's the case.
Oh yeah, the Violator.
Hollywood, how do you feel about the anti-hero thing? Are they actually heroes, or because they kill people? Are they not heroes because they kill people? To just blur the lines between just like villain and hero, so they just get rid of whoever.
I mean, I feel like it's definitely an in between type thing. You know what I mean? Because we know we got some heroes that's not going to kill at all. You know what I mean? Like Batman. You know, they might cripple you. You know what I mean? Hey, your hospital bill high as fuck. But you know, they won't kill you. Then you got niggas like
you might as well kill me then.
I don't give a damn. We got to get your ass off. You know what I mean? So I'm a kid. Like, you know, it's definitely an in between thing. You know what I mean? So, but I like anti-heroes more than heroes. You know what I mean? Because they know they do what needs to be done. You know what I mean? Gotham would be so much better if Batman just decided, you know, I'm going to get rid of you niggas. You know what I mean?
But he can't do that though, because
if he does that, he's not a hero anymore.
No, it's not even about that. They have to sell comics.
Joker got to come back every quarter year,
right? Like nobody gives a shit about Calendar Man, bro.
No,
I want to see Scarecrow.
No, folks, get my boy.
Man, Batman's a villain too. He worked for Will Pharma. He gonna break you up like he said. You gonna have $1 million debt. You gonna have to pay that shit back, and bam, it's all going back to Bruce Wayne anyway. So he's the villain. He gonna break you up, put you hundreds of thousands in debt, and his hospital, you get out. So now I gotta pay 7-figure bill. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go rob a bank. That's the first thing I'm gonna do when I get out to pay all that back. Now he's back on my ass. Rinse, cycle, repeat.
That's you paying for the consequences of your own actions.
I don't got an 8-figure bank account, so I'm gonna do what I think is right. I was out there selling apes, and he broke my whole body up. Now I'm 100,000 in debt. You think I deserve that for selling an ape on the street?
This kind of physical labor.
Well, you're gonna have to hold that, my G.
Your recovery. And you gonna go out there and get in a fight with Batman?
Yeah, right. Like you live in Gotham, and you decided to go sell drugs out in the crime alley at night. You asked for that.
Yo, if I ever get
imagine
7 figures
for a 3-5, that's crazy.
If me and Hollywood ever get 7 figures for this, we're doing The Wire x Batman. I want to see Omar versus Bruce Wayne.
Yes, sir.
Omar's coming. No, Batman. That's all I want to see. I want to see Omar going down the streets.
Omar versus Bruce Wayne. Let's go.
I want to see Omar going down the streets with a shotgun. Batman
next Monday, Coke match. Omar versus Batman. You know what I mean? I'm posting it next week. Coke match Monday.
My other question is just like, why are people so enamored with anime protagonists? Because they're not labeled heroes. Goku, Ichigo, Yusuke, Spike. Henson, just stuff like that. They're not labeled. Luffy, they're not labeled as heroes. One's a fighter, one's a pirate, one's a damn con artist, thief, delinquent. Just like they're just there to quote unquote save the day, but they're not really. They're just like doing what they want, or doing what they're ordered, or doing what they're destined to do. But people are enamored with these characters because they're now following Western philosophy of what a hero and a villain is. There are villains in anime, obviously, but you're not necessarily the hero. You're just guys. You're the ends to the means.
I mean,
people just automatically put the hero tag on protagonist. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
You're the opposing force.
I mean, a lot of that is because of the writing structure. Like a lot of writing structure follows the hero's journey. And because of that, and people are used to seeing the hero's journey, you know, like passing the threshold, seeing the master, the death of the master, passing the torch and ascending to masterhood. And like when they see that format, like Star Wars follows the hero's journey, like Narnia follows the hero's journey, Naruto follows the hero's journey, like hundreds of stories follows the hero journeys. But like when people see that kind of stuff and they recognize that, so I mean, it just makes sense that your brain would categorize that as a hero as soon as you start seeing stuff that's familiar like that. You know, once you start seeing someone going through a training arc, you know, your brain's like, oh, this is the hero. Like, this is the main character. And then their master dies. And you're like, no, he has to avenge his master. You know, you're automatically like, you're going right there.
Don't forget Major Raya, rest in piss.
Yeah,
you know, well, I think another thing that tends to be that contributes to that is like, so when you get a hero in a comic book, the comic book has to sell you on why that person's should feel like a hero to you, right? Like when you meet Captain America, he has to sell you on like the patriotic values in America and liberty and freedom, and he has to ooze that like with sincerity out of his pores. Like it's the only way you buy it from Captain America. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's the only way you get it from Superman. If Superman is not Clark Kent humble about shit, he very quickly becomes an overpowered dick. There's just no other way around it. So when you have like anime characters, you're personally invested in their journey, like you said, because it follows that hero journey structure. You're like, oh, and they don't have to care about what happens, right? Luffy does not care about the property damage he leaves behind. He doesn't have to, because you know Luffy is pure of heart and he only means good for his homies. So we let everything slide after that point. Like Luffy has destroyed 3 countries back to back, and we're just like, yeah, go Straw Hats, let's go. Like, yeah, and like, sure, he's like happens to like usually be on the side of good because of his purity, but a lot of the time it's not always like that. Like I say, you have people like, you know, Eren Yeager, who's like a little bit more complex. And you're like, there's plenty of people like Eren should be a hero because he's doing the thing that every other hero
that
does.
nigga ain't no hero.
Well,
Yeager is,
you know, it depends on who you are. Because if you're a Jaeger, it's like Aaron, the only one willing to go to bat for you. Like if you just the rest of everybody else, yeah, he might not be your hero. You're the villain.
Aaron just a nigga that was just fed up. He was just a fed up ass nigga and said, "I'm gonna end this shit." Right. That's all he was. He wasn't no hero in no type of way. He was just fed the fuck up.
Uncovered.
Well, you know, I mean, but like sometimes that's what it takes. You know, like in Gurren Lagann, in the same way that Aaron is like, this needs to end. That's the plot of Gurren Lagann. They're like literally the Spiral King is like, if you guys attack me, it's gonna end everything. And they're like, fuck you, nigga. And it's like, and then they fight him, and then the anti-spiral is like, we're gonna destroy the universe, and they're like, fuck you, nigga. And then it unbalances the universe, and presumably that goes on, and eventually the universe is destroyed because it's unbalanced. But it ends on a positive note, like, but they did that shit because they were fed up.
Low key, any Gundam, low key, Kogias. It's just like, this world's a piece of shit. I'm just gonna do something about it real quick. But
Cause more war.
cause more war and shit like that.
Yeah, but when I do war, I have a cool theme song at the beginning and the end of the episode. So
Yeah,
it's dope.
exactly.
So it's
The
dope.
personal
That
satisfaction
makes
is
it
too
all better.
good.
Yeah.
The
So long as I
personal
got a
satisfaction is
fire
too good.
ass album, is A-okay for me to go out there just blowing no countries.
Yeah,
Fire
yeah.
album, fire
That's how
countries.
it is.
Got you.
We got really.
You can destroy whatever
Do
country you want.
y'all ever notice how, like in Naruto, how much like 10 times greasier they make the ninja like 20 years ago? 20 years ago, Ninja was like, "What's good, nigga? I'm hidden in the shadows. I'm about to slice your throat, nigga." But like when Naruto is fighting them, those same ninja are like, "All right, let's take this outside." And it's like, and for some reason, they're having a whole conversation with him, like those same dudes. Like,
Shout out to Ninja Scroll. Like,
Hey,
imagine when the Stone guys like R word, well, not really R word, but just like having sex with the
Man,
poison
he
chick.
ate that girl out. He ate Kagero out, man.
Can
Lord.
you imagine Naruto walking up on that scene? It's like, believe it. I don't think you're doing the right thing.
You see what I mean? Like,
I don't
I
think
can picture it right now.
Master Jiraiya would approve of this.
yeah.
You gotta
I
fight.
can picture that talk.
Wait, no, you're supposed to let her reject you for 20 years.
I told you, man. I told you the self
That's not
satisfaction.
that's not what Sakura does to me.
Like when you an anime character, it's about the self gratification. Like the best moment is like we love a good rage moment, right? Like let Ichigo need to go wig out because you don't touch Orihime for the last time. Let Gon sit there and black out because of what you did to Kite. Like we love a rage out moment, but if in real life, if you see your like the person who's like Superman can't have a rage out moment. You see what I'm saying?
Bro,
like Superman have a rage out moment. We all of a sudden like, oh, Superman a threat. We gotta start playing the contingencies.
Bro,
like,
I've been saying this forever. Like, yo, people be like, Majin Vegeta is so sick, and I'm like, in real life, Majin Vegeta is a school shooter. In real life, Majin Vegeta's like, I can't win. I'm killing my friends. Fuck my whole family. Fuck my life.
He did kill half the stadium. We're not.
And then he kills himself. It's like, bro, that's not dope. That's not fire. Nothing about that is cool.
But he had the cool.
That one there was a violation.
Him on his head. Yeah, that.
It's a violation.
Like, that's not cool at all.
I'm not gonna lie, that was not
Shout out
Vegeta's
to Bobby.
proudest moment.
Yeah, no. If Green Lantern did that, everybody would be like, "What the fuck?"
When he turned his
I mean, he
tail,
did. That's what Parallax was.
Parallax
He did do that.
Yeah, but he was possessed.
Was he?
Yeah. Rage moments in Japan and rage moments in America be totally different. Because when you rage in America, they just look at you like you crazy. Oh my God, why did he kill all them people? Why did he do that? Now, like we said earlier, you really the villain. So yeah, it's all about perspective when it comes to that too. Reader perspective.
Yeah, but then again, there's some American villains that can have rage moments, and people would just be like, "That's fucking dope." Like, yeah, like Abomination could just go nuts, and people would just be like, "Hell yeah!"
I would.
Oh shit! All right, so I did want to ask this. So you did have a well, no, actually, no. Before I get to that, it's more of a who's wrong, who's right argument. Because if you look at Lex Luthor, is he really a villain?
Yeah, yeah, he is.
But he's for humanity. He's
okay, no, he's not. No, he's not. The one guy.
If you said Lex Luthor not a villain, you would take everything you said about Aaron back right now.
Hold on. Before you get to that, Lex Luthor is about humanity being able to defend themselves without the help of alien kind coming up. So he's all about
they can't though.
He's pro human life. So
okay,
I mean,
listen here.
We should be able to defend ourselves. We don't need Superman.
I have a question. I have one question.
Okay.
His suits, that if that's true, right? That he wants to see if humanity can defend itself without needing Superman, right? his suits that he makes to kill Superman. Why does he never try them out against the threats that Superman stops? Why does he only try them against Superman?
Because you gotta try them against the best. That's why. Like, you might as well go all out.
I don't ever see him solving problems before Superman. He's only punching on Superman. Like he never be making no anti-Brainiac shit. He's only making kryptonite shit.
I'm curious. It actually brings me to a post you made about who was the biggest hater, and Lex Luthor was actually among that list of people.
He is a hater. Don't get me wrong.
Mandark should have been on that list also.
Well, he's really a racist if you think about it. Like, yo, he really don't like Superman just because he's Kryptonian. He's like, yo, man, fuck you.
Yo, Lex.
I don't like you, bro.
So bad.
Fuck that.
Like, if they had a racist word for Kryptonian, he'd probably say it every day of the week, all day for that.
He probably does. He's like that. Yeah, Chrissy.
Crippy. Oh man.
What I originally wanted to bring up was so if you read Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals, they brought back a Celestial Titan, not a Celestial. A God Celestial, right? So he's like, he basically did the Ultron from Avengers 2. Oh, niggas ain't shit. So just like, I'm tired of y'all. I'll do this tomorrow shit. Fuck that. Y'all got tomorrow to live because we racing tomorrow today. So he just like so Captain America's like, I'll bring up the scan because we got no, it's not that. Where's the fucking Captain America shit? It ain't that either. Oh yeah. So Captain America's like, oh, Blame can wait. Blame is no use. We made this mess. We're gonna tidy it up. And the projector can read minds. It's like, here you go, doing that bullshit again. So once more, he seeks to inspire and think himself a leader, one who sets himself in the drumbeat of the world. So he judges Captain America and says, nigga, you ain't shit. So he judges him, gives him the thumbs down, and he says, and I quote, I judge him first. You are a dream of a better country. You have tried to inspire it for a century. This country is the world leader, and the world is what it is. It's worse every day. You are a failure. Thumbs down. And Iron Man just like, if it judges Cap by that standard, what chance do the rest of us have? So was the Celestial right for judging Captain America so strictly on that, based on who he perceives himself to be and what he reflects upon to the rest of the world?
Got to say one thing. I just hope that the Gates ain't really like that, because a lot of us gonna really be fucked. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, oh man,
yeah,
that's some deep shit.
I know I'm done.
We're done.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, okay, like, first of all, I don't even understand why, like, you would be a superhero and represent a country. Like, first of all, that's, to me, is like, if you're a superhero, you want to represent a symbol for something that's like infallible, or represent something that's like strong, and it's like a country is like obviously flawed. Every country's flawed. Like there's no perfect country. And then it's like, if you're picking a country like America, you at least need to, like, do something a little bit more than wear red, white, and blue and have a fucking shield. Like, I think like, there's not been nearly enough Captain America comics to even address half the shit that goes on in this country on a level even close enough to realistically judge him with a thumbs up there based on what he does. Like
Listen,
I think Captain America is a great example.
Shout out to that Celestial for basically saying, oh, you Captain America and you're the leader of the world, and y'all the head country, and your country ain't shit. That's why the world ain't shit. Basically, what they said.
Right. Facts. He was like, taxes is way too high. Y'all niggas tripping.
Celestial was a real one.
It's one of them things
Celestial was like, it's
where
inflation popping right now. What's
I
going
mean,
on?
it's one of the things where like the draw about Captain America is that he's actually not a great hero. He's just a good man, and like they always like we always highlight like, oh, like he's a good dude. He a good dude. Like he a real good dude. But as like someone who's like I'm a hero, he doesn't always live up to the good hero standard because he's not being like, yeah, well, you know what? I'll even sacrifice what I think the country should, what I think about to make things better, or what I think I represent to make things better. So that's a good another example. Like you could be a good person and still not be like good at living up to what it means to be a hero for real.
Yeah,
Good point.
and it's like, how good of a dude are you really? It's like, if you were really that good of a dude, would you, with all the power and influence that you have, really be running around in tights punching niggas? Like that's the best you can do with all of your power and influence and all your money is go around and punch niggas. That's it. That's it. You represent America and the world, and you can dank niggas. Like, now, mind you, they're burning billions of dollars of fuel every time they're flying around doing any of this shit, and he's not taking out the most people in the room when he goes into a room.
I mean, well, that's
Like,
because Tony Bezos is affording everything, so they don't have to really think about this stuff.
right, but they should. He's so good, right?
Anybody with a Captain America take on this?
I vote for Goku. I'm just playing, but you know.
Right.
Anyway.
Fair enough. But the Celestial Titan did keep calling it a Titan. The God Celestial did judge Matt Murdock, and Matt Murdock dresses as the devil and tries to stop the streets from becoming hell. He's a man with a firm moral code, which he has violated time and time over. I appear with him with a crown of thorns and downturn of thumb. Beneath the mask, he weeps. Says, I know, yet carry on. Is that fair?
It's gas.
Yep. It's kind of hypocritical. You know, I want to quote a Ninja Scroll quote that pertains to Daredevil. When you fight the devil, be the devil yourself, or you cannot win. I can understand the sense in that fight fire with fire, but to become something that symbolizes evil, to defeat evil, I can understand how hypocritical that can seem as well.
Yeah.
Also, we know Daredevil's a man of faith. He's Catholic, so it's just like he's coming down is just like with the thorns on your head, with the thumbs down. He's like, damn, I'm fucked up. Go ahead.
Also, yeah.
What, you gonna have a halo over his head? Nobody ain't gonna be afraid of that nigga then.
Yeah, it's also like, this is one of those characters that's like probably not doing as much good as he thinks he's doing. Like, really, Daredevil.
So that counts though, right?
I mean, are all of the people that he puts away innocent, or guilty? I don't know.
Doubt.
Because he still supports the American criminal system.
You know what? Thinking about it though, I think that the fact that Daredevil is willing to sacrifice like a huge chunk of his own personal beliefs to try to uphold justice as best he can, I can see why the Celestial would be like, you know what, that's like some true hero shit. Because Captain America not necessarily doing that. He not necessarily sacrificing what he think about, you know what I mean, to represent something else. Like, so I can kind of see where the Celestial might be like, yeah, he's showing more of a heroic spirit, so that's worthy.
Yeah, he's really just punching niggas though. Like, and that's the problem.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah, like, and he's
the
like,
American way, just punch him.
Yeah, half the time he's fighting ninjas specifically, so it's like he's not really even helping the common person. You know, it's like, I don't know about that. He's got some personal squabbles to sort out over there.
Also, the last judgment is pretty much Spider-Man. Just like gives him the thumbs up. He's the epitome of responsibility. Putting the other person before you, putting your heart on the back burner for yourself. I see your heart, Peter Parker. I see that it is full, open, and alive. I see it shine so brightly it blinds you and baffles the mind of the man. So I judge you worthy. So one being
a true hero.
one being the epitome of responsibility, and one being an epitome of a nation, quote unquote. One gets a thumbs up for his selflessness, and one does Captain America get the thumbs down for his selfishness, for his actions, pretty much.
I'm just gonna my last 2 cents on this whole thing. I think the key here to me is that Captain America and Matt are both chasing what they believe to be this like sense of justice, right? And like Captain America was like a soldier and worked for the government, and Matt's like part of the legal system, and they're both connected to like the system of the US, right? And it's like they've got this like internal moral code that they're living by that's like about justice, whatever, and it's based off of their opinion. Spider-Man's not really doing that. He's just helping people that are around him, and he's just trying to improve his neighborhood. He's just his friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, you know? And I think that that's completely different, and I think that's why he's a hero. You know, he's completely willing to die for an old lady that needs to cross the street, you know?
Spider-Man is a nigga from Queens. I'll give him that.
Yeah. All day, every day.
Any 2 cents from anybody else?
Oh yeah, hands down, he is most definitely worthy. Like, look at everything he lost along the way. Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, Harry Osborn, like the list goes on. And he's had so many reasons to give up. He even lost Aunt May down the line. But it's the whole fact he never looked at himself. He looked at the fact that with him having the ability to help people, that he automatically has the responsibility to help them as well. So for him to stick to that sense of morale, regardless of everything that's happened in his career, yeah, he's the definition of a hero.
Mike, Hollywood, y'all got any 2 cents you want to put in on that?
They basically said everything. He's the definition. When you put it like that, he's the walking definition of what a superhero should be. Selflessness. Like, yeah, it ain't that many selflessness superheroes out there that I can think of. Everybody got some type of secret agenda behind what they want to do, or for themselves. That it's their own ego, pride. It's something. But him, when you really look at Spider-Man back track record, he really does everything for everybody else. Like, yeah. So he said everything. On that note,
Spider-Man's a real nigga. You know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean? The Celestial said you worthy. You're a real nigga. You know what I mean? You out here, you doing what's supposed to be done, Captain America. You the face of the probably the worst fucking place on this planet. You know what I mean? So fuck you. That's basically what the Celestial is. That's I mean.
All right, so the last topic, we all seen pretty much the war arc for My Hero in manga or anime form. Just Shigaraki's just super overpowered. It's just struggling so hard with this. Is it a balance of storytelling that comic books don't really get that? It gotta be like with a comic in terms of a war arc, it's just like, oh my god, it's like some astronomical shit happening, and then just like we can't do nothing about it. Just like, oh my god, it takes like 3 teams to beat this one person. But My Hero is just like, all right, well, it's just the League of Villains and these other fuck niggas in this fake town just doing shit and giving you heroes a very hard time. Most of them are just street level, except for like 2 of them. So it's just like, it was a balance of like storytelling, or just like, are the heroes just that inferior?
They're that inferior
about it that they had to entrust themselves with children that haven't hit puberty to take them out, to take the front lines with adults.
Well, when you got a nuclear bomb on your team, I'm gonna toss that nigga on the front line too. They cool, you got a walking nuke. So the hero's doing something right there. That's a good strategy. Like, get everybody out of there, get all them villains straight out the gate. Like, if I was to run that stuff, like, kill. We not capturing, we killing. Like, use that little kid, all them quirks, start off on all of them. That's how it should have been.
Hey,
Right?
if you got Rock Lock on your team who just locks shit into place, I guess you gotta throw little kids in there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
okay, like Shigaraki is cool, right? But like there's a lot of characters that can do the kind of shit that he does. Like, and they don't need the ability to rot everything to do it either. You know, like Dormammu can easily replicate the kind of shit that Shigaraki does and a billion more things easily.
Yeah.
And pretty much any magic user that's like worth any salt. So like, I mean, I just like comparing him to American comics, they're just not that powerful realistically. Like Deku's strong as hell over there. Like if you bring that nigga over here, Powerpuff Girl rocked the shit out of Deku.
But Powerpuff Girls are like S tier heroes though. They will kill some Marvel and DC niggas.
They'll kill some of them.
But
like,
Buttercup solos.
Powerpuff Girls ain't S tier in DC or Marvel though.
Man, they fighting the double. Like I don't know, man. They up there. They don't sleep on them little girls. They gonna make you like Mojo Jojo.
They're strong, but they not S tier in DC or Marvel. They're just strong. Like,
but they can fly and they can lift tons of weight and stuff. Like they have laser vision.
Yeah, Big Barda can do that too. Big Barda is not an S tier character. Big Barda is C tier, and she can fly. Like, Big Barda is not no S tier character.
Big Barda disrespect.
Relax.
I think Big Barda is tier, but
I love Big Barda, but like Big Barda was
she not S tier.
Now we talking on the Powerpuff Girls.
I'm just saying.
You know what though? I think the fact that I think it is just that the heroes are just really underpowered, but I think they need to be. Otherwise, the writing wouldn't be good. You know what I mean? Like, and because like the context for their world is very different. It's not like in Marvel where like you gain a superpower and it's kind of rare, but it's also kind of not rare, so nobody really cares. Where like in their world, like everybody has like these abilities, but only like 2% of them are allowed to use them. So like the reasons why they're even fighting are just very different. Like, you know what I mean? Like Peter Parker is like fighting to protect his neighborhood, and like, you know, there's like people who are fighting to defend the globe and all this other like crazy shit. But like in their world, like Uraraka, she just was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a hero so I can get my hero license, and then we don't have to have machines, so we can save money at home, and I'm gonna help my parents. Like they didn't ask to go fight Shigaraki.
But they're fighting Shigaraki, right? And it's all
she just wanted to check. She just wanted to
different. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can be a hero in their world if your power is to shoot a little bit of water out your fingertip. Nigga, you can't be no hero in DC if that's your power.
What I'm saying is, if Noah comes down and Hawkeye is there, like Hawkeye, what the fuck is you doing here? I'm gonna shoot him with arrows, nigga. He just one shot at Sentry.
But he's so nasty though that he can actually pull it off. So,
and you know what? Hawkeye would be better than half of Class A.
Bro, Hawkeye the number 2 hero. He putting Hawks in the dirt if he keep it up.
Please.
Like, yeah, I'm about to say Hawkeye. Even though he's human, he up there, so it's not even fair. Like to compare. Like
Earjack is Earjack. So.
Hey, you know, everybody give him my boy Mineta shit because like he being like he a little nasty perv character, and that's like his stick, right? But I'm gonna keep it real with you. Mineta was very honest in like season 1 when he was like, bro, I just got like a little like I'm 14. I'm not really built like to be handling life or death situations my freshman year of high school. Like this is crazy. And folks like to act like he be a bitch, but like real shit. I feel like that's the most normal reaction.
My nigga Class 1A got a fucking tail and knows kung fu, but he's out there. Congratulations to him, but
man, that boy don't get no shine.
They are.
He's one of
I
them
got
that
hell, I
can't
know
get
karate. Get the fuck out of here.
They are underusing Mina. She's got acid that can melt steel, and they're just like underusing that. Like fuck. Like all you gotta do is splash niggas in their eyes. You don't even gotta.
I got the figure
Oh,
attributes of a frog, and I got a. All right.
I'm dead.
Shout out to You Go Girl, whatever the fuck her name is. She can just hold her breath and send you out of space, but you know, it's about writing.
Bust down. I feel like a bust now.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say too. I feel like comic stories in general are written better than manga stories in general, and I feel like part of that is the length, because comic stories are shorter, and I feel like the bloat that comes with popular manga series ends up making stories like questionable, because a lot of these artists clearly don't intend for these stories to be as long as they end up being sometimes.
Yeah, in My Hero, they made twice a fucking country threat. Oh my god, there's a ton of these niggas they could just punch you.
And he's a fan favorite.
You gotta stop this shit.
He's a fan favorite too.
I'm gonna kill these niggas.
Like, people love that nigga. Like, he is the show. He is like the epitome of the fucking.
Oh my god, this girl can drink blood and take her quirk. Oh, we gotta stop her. No,
I'm so horny. Like
Jesus Christ, she can drink your blood and take her quirk. God damn it, there's a problem.
But you know what? She had some of the most realistic shit though. Yeah, because I mean, I'm like, I believe her story of like, bro, I just want to make a world that's easy for me to live in. I don't have any grand ambitions. I'm not trying to steal $1 million, secure my cancer. Like, bro, I just want people to stop calling me fucking crazy, and I just want to live in a world that, like, I like the character writing for that. Like, yeah, it's not like crazy powerful, but I think it's better than just like some random like, oh, I got sick of the system, so I'm gonna start shooting niggas. Like, I think it's easy to have like in comic books, like you get letting villains over like the craziest shit. Like you got dudes who are calendar men and like I'm a spinning top. Like what the like? I'd rather just have somebody
right,
over some real shit. You know what I mean?
Right. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. When there's spinning top man in the comic book, yeah, you don't gotta read about him for 3 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like his part's done in 2 pages, and you don't.
For one issue.
Right, and you don't see about him ever again for 15 years. You never see.
Yeah, I'm about to say that like 15, 20 years.
Like,
top man is crazy.
The Stilt Man. Shout out to Stilt Man for having longevity.
Shout out to Stilt Man, bro.
Shout out to Polka Dot Man, yo.
Polka Dot Man is a problem.
Yeah,
I'm about to say he's a menace. He's a menace.
Yo, how is James Gunn the CEO of DC and still making Marvel movies right now? What is going on?
Dang,
I'm confused.
He got clout.
You know, you just do what the contract says. That's all.
My guy's about to make Marvel versus DC, ain't he?
He gotta make it.
Sheesh.
Shout out to Marvel for fucking up Blade. Just make Michael Jai White Blade and just call it a day.
Michael Jai White
can't fuck up Blade.
They're like, oh, Blade's getting pushed back and blah blah blah. Just make Michael Jai White Blade. You should have just done it, and it would have been done by now.
Michael Jai White can't act, bro. He's Blade in the Marvel game that just came out. Yes, he's Blade. He's Blade in the game that they dropped last month, and he sucks as Blade in the game.
Wesley Snipes was high all of Blade 3, and it's my favorite Blade. Don't get me wrong.
First of all, people act like Blade 3 was garbage, but
Blade 3 is amazing.
It might be the best Blade. It might be the best Blade.
Ryan Reynolds.
You can't roll with this.
Ryan Reynolds and Triple H? Are you kidding me?
Ryan Reynolds, Triple H. That cast was goat.
What? That sword fight was heat.
Let's get this straight. Jessica Alba, bow and arrow with the laser, with a laser bow and arrow, fire. Ryan Reynolds is.
That's when she still was hot.
Fire. Wesley Snipes high all the movie, fire.
It was so
Vampire
good,
Pomeranian, fire. Raiden was in the movie. Fire. Don't
Sword
fuck
fight,
with my thing. I
fire.
love
Let's
it.
go. All of that was heat. Every single part. Of
So is that
Blade getting the fucking whatever the shit in his mouth and him breaking out the fucking shit, and he was erect doing it? Fire.
so? Hold on for a second. Do that mean Ryan Reynolds in that universe, since the Marvel multiverse, is that Deadpool and Blade trilogy? Huh?
He was training to be Deadpool in that movie.
Okay, I just wanted to know that.
The nigga from Prison Break as Dracula, one of the best fights of all time. Fire.
Yeah, but nah. Michael Jai White was Blade literally last month in a video game, and it was bad. It's not good.
He's better than Sticky Fingers, so fuck it. Why not?
Yo, I forgot all about
You forgot Sticky Fingers, Blade? Shout out to Spike TV.
Sticky Fingers as Blade was mad nasty.
Ball-headed Blade.
Wasn't that a Spike TV special?
Yes, it was. No, it wasn't a special. It was a whole season.
Dang.
That was a weekly
whole season, right?
Weekly trauma right there. But we're here with the tail end of it. So I mean, Taizuki, what you got going on? You got any more music videos to drop? Any more music to drop?
I do. I actually have a music video I'm about to send to the chat right now.
Dude does that so I can upload it.
Okay. And I'll send a YouTube link. And yeah, I got a bunch of shit going on, man. I'm like a fucking whirlwind of chaos. Dakin had to go earlier. Shout outs that guy, Dakin. But you know what, brother? I'm just out here. I'm vibing. I'm just chilling with the homies. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see y'all, man.
Well, happy to see you too, brother.
Yes, sir, brother.
Hollywood Sensei, what you got cooking up tomorrow? Vocalist tournament?
Yes, sir. Vocalist tournament selection show part 2. We had like 200 names last week. We then cut that list down to about 98. So we still got to cut it down to 64. But you know,
Jesus.
We'll have the 64. Yeah, it's just crazy.
You
We'll
doing
have
the
the
whole
64. Yeah, it's March Madness style. You know what I mean? You know, 64 participants. We're gonna be doing that tomorrow. You know what I mean? And then I guess we on Friday night year tomorrow. You know what I mean? Make sense Saturday.
You get sold to the Saudis. Oh, it's fake news. We'll talk about it.
Saudi Arabia, definitely. But tomorrow, what it sound like at 7 vocalist tournament selection show. I don't know if there will be a show next week unless folks want to just hop over my place.
People want to step up. That's a
because
different
I
story.
will be in Los Angeles next week, so I'm gonna be out of commission.
Okay.
Billy Anime Boy 215. Where to find you at?
TikTok. I found 1500. I mean, my girl, she up there. She happy for me. I'm just talking about anime weekly updates. I'm getting ready for Sunday for The Last of Us. So that day, I don't want nobody bothering me because I'm probably gonna watch that like 3 times back to back. If it's hype like the Rotten Tomatoes say 100%. So that's the only thing I'm really looking forward to right now. And Quantumania. So that's all I'm really doing. Just talking on TikTok all day.
Keister the Super Nerd. Where they can find you at? What you got going on?
Oh well, shoot, man. In a few weeks, I'm going to be doing a single for that Street Fighter mixtape I was telling you about. I'm going to be releasing. I might be performing in Texas at AggieCon. So what?
My bad to interrupt you. I was like, sign me up for an interlude for the Street Fighter show.
Yeah, that's dope, bro.
That's fire.
Oh yeah, man. I definitely. Yeah, it's dope. The cover art's been done. I'm going to be performing at Geekdom Con, hopefully Dragon Con, hopefully. But you can find me on Geekster the Super Nerd at Instagram, Twitter, the Geeky One, DAGEEKY1, YouTube and SoundCloud, Geekster the Super Nerd. Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Fire. Maybe you and Taizuka can collab on something.
Yeah,
crazy.
man.
That'll be dope. I'm looking for more artists to work with anyway.
For sure. Same.
There we go. fire. Get some fire content out there. But Made Spider can't hear AK aka the head of the table. Follow Blur Control on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, Twitch. We'll be on. I'll download it tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll remember, and hopefully, this episode will be on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Music, Stitcher, Deezer. Be on it tomorrow. So, Heroes and Villains. So this is a pretty good conversation. I enjoyed it. So just like support it. You know what I'm saying? Follow everybody on all their social medias. Follow us on YouTube and I guess TikTok. I'll be on with Monterey tomorrow on TikTok. We're going live again. So we'll have a topic to go through. What it sound like on all social media platforms. It'll be on tomorrow, 7 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Well, not lyrics, it's vocalist tournament.
Vocalist
going on. Follow on Friday for wrestling. Don't forget, Make It Make Sense. It'll be on After Dark. Will be on Saturday also. So hopefully. But yeah, we had a good episode. Appreciate y'all for coming on. See y'all next Wednesday. Enjoy yourself.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.